Hey guys, what is up? It is me, the Chosen One, back at you again with another video. Today we're actually going to be talking about CSGO and should you still buy the game in 2018. So CSGO has been out since 2012. Counter-Strike as a franchise has been around for a very long time, but people are still interested in buying CSGO. A lot of people out there still don't have the game, and they're wondering if the game is still worth buying. So while CSGO isn't in its prime, it isn't in where it was peaking, where it was super popular, the game is still very popular. There are still a lot of people playing the game, so that is something that you don't have to worry about. But with all that said, let's find out, is CSGO still worth buying in 2018? So as I said in previous videos, if you're trying to get into CSGO in 2018, it's going to be a lot harder than it was in previous years. So now to get into prime matchmaking, which you pretty much need if you're going to play matchmaking, otherwise you're going to be running into hackers. I believe you need to be around like level 19 or level 20 or something around there. You need to reach a certain level, but you're going to have to put hours in to reach that level. Also, you're going to have to put in a phone number and do some other things, but you're going to have to put some in-game time in before you can reach prime matchmaking, which is mostly what everybody plays, because if you don't have prime matchmaking, you're most likely going to go against cheaters. So it makes it harder for newer players to get into the game. You're going to have to grind that out a little bit, and that's something you're going to have to put up with when you first join the game, and that's something that a lot of people didn't have to do in previous years. I still think this is kind of a bad decision by Valve. While it pleases the older players, it kind of hurts the game and kind of makes it so newer players can't really get into the game. But that is something you're going to have to note when you're trying to get into this game now in 2018. Also, since you're getting into the game 6 years later, there are a lot of people who are going to have more experience than you, and you're probably going to start off not very good. And that's something a lot of people have the issue with in CSGO, is that it takes a lot of time to get good at the game, and a lot of people simply don't want to put a lot of time into this game to get good. But once you do get good, it is definitely worth it, and it definitely makes the game a lot more enjoyable, and you definitely feel a lot better knowing you earned that skill. Trying to be a little bit more positive about this game, though, if you start to look about the positive aspects of the game in 2018, Valve definitely cares about this game a lot more than they did in the past. So if you're a veteran CSGO player or a veteran Counter-Strike player in general, you will know that Valve hasn't really supported Counter-Strike as well as they should have, especially with CSGO getting really popular a few years ago. It seems like there should have been more support for the game, but in 2018 it seems like there's been more support than ever. The community is still just as active as ever, creating all these skins, creating all this content, and the game still has around, I believe, 300 to 400,000 players daily, so that is really good for the game. The game still has an active player base. I know a lot of people try to say that CSGO is a dead game, and I think that's just because of the rise of games like Fortnite and PUBG. CSGO has kind of been hit out of the spotlight a little bit, but with all that said, the game is still very popular. I know a lot of people are worried about CSGO not being as good as it used to be, but I think that's just because a lot of people have maybe gotten bored of the game and newer games have come out, because the core gameplay is still the same of CSGO. It is still the same game. If anything, it's gotten better with them doing things, like I said, adding prime matchmaking, which hurts newer players, but once again, if you're a veteran player, it kind of makes the game a bit better. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there, but they've done things to make the game better. They are updating the game regularly. They're continually adding new content. They added in new game modes such as Wingman and other game modes in the newer operations. It seems like they're really trying to push the game forward. So in that sense, it's a good time to get into the game because they're adding all this content to the game. Also, when looking at CSGO, if you look at the esports side of things, things have been going really well for that as well, because if you look at it, the money has been going up and up, the viewership has gone up and up, and the quality of play has seemingly gone up as well. It seems like Counter-Strike esports are going to start to get bigger and bigger, and one of the reasons I think Counter-Strike esports are a lot better than a lot of these other games that are in esports is because it's so easy to follow. The average person who doesn't even play video games can pretty much understand what's going on within the first few minutes of the game, while if something like League of Legends is watched by someone who isn't a gamer or even someone who plays League of Legends, they really won't understand what's going on. And with esports continuing to grow and grow, and we're starting to see companies like ESPN start to get into esports and start to buy teams, and people like Shaq and the Philadelphia 76ers start to get involved, it's starting to seem like esports is becoming a bigger deal than it once was, and it's starting to get bigger, and we can see that by the numbers and by just everything going on in the community. So if you're joining into the game right now, it's probably a good time to get into esports as well. Pick a team, follow some players, and just overall watch them play the game. One, it will help you get better at the game, and two, is just simply entertaining. Overall, though, I think you should still buy CSGO in 2018. I think it's definitely one of the best games on PC, and if you are a fan of first-person shooters, you will still enjoy this game. Just keep in mind that there is a huge grind in the beginning of the game now to get to prime matchmaking, but do not let that discourage you. I know it lets a lot of people discourage them and they can't get into the game, but once you get past that, the game becomes a lot better. You will start to learn the fundamentals of the game. You'll start to learn more, complex things in the game, and you'll just overall get better, and you'll find find the game to be more fun, but I guess that can be said about any game. Once you get better, it starts to be more fun, but especially true with CSGO. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Should people still be buying CSGO in 2018? Is the game still worth getting into? I know a lot of you guys out there might not play CSGO anymore. A lot of you guys out there probably still do, but let me know down in the comments down below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you dislike this video for some odd reason, hit the dislike button. And if you're new, how about you subscribe? But yeah, guys, this has been the Chosen One Inc. And as always, peace out.